you guys. I hope everybody is having a great morning. Okay, before we get started, okay, I see everybody has their textbooks, everybody got their books, everybody has their packet. So just to go over classroom rules, okay, I have the classroom rules posted over here. Be respectful, prepared, be responsible, be engaged, and be safe. Okay, and since class is starting right now, if you do have your cell phone away, I'm going to ask that you put your phone in your backpack, okay, so it's not a distraction, or your pocket, please. So this semester, you guys, we just switched to learning about economics, and I love learning about economics. I know that a lot of you guys also love economics. And so I have like a little PowerPoint type thing I'm going to show you in a video, and you guys have this packet. If at any point you guys have questions, just stop me and we will go over things, okay? So this is what I've created for you guys for a PowerPoint for economics. And so it's an introduction to economics, and our first slide is just going to be kind of like what's economics, scarcity, and I'm just going to kind of go over this. So there's different kinds of learning outcomes. Defining economics, I'm going to skip that. I'm actually going to jump into more of what we're going to be doing today, okay? The slides that I made. Okay, so we have some vocabulary words that we're going to be going over that are in our book and in our packet. Do you guys see where the definition is down at the bottom? Okay, there's 6 key terms that I really want you guys to understand. So we're going to kind of skip around. And so the first one, do I have a volunteer who can read the first word? I'm going to call on right here in the front. Front in the front. What is word number 1? Scarcity. Okay. So scarcity, what is scarcity?
Means that resources are limited, so people cannot have everything they want because of
Scarcity.
Scarcity. Individuals and society must make choices about how to use resources.
Okay, great job. Okay, so what are we learning about today? We are learning about how our economy, okay, has different markets and how this affects scarcity. How it affects us as consumers. Okay, you guys are going to graduate high school soon. And so scarcity means that resources are limited, so people cannot buy everything they want. So that means if I go into a store, they might not have something that I'm looking for. Okay, they might be sold out, and I might have to wait to get that item. So this graphic organizer that I gave you, you're going to write that down, but then up at the top, it's going to say, what does scarcity mean to you in your own words? Okay, what does it mean to you in your own words? So after you write it down here, what does scarcity mean? Okay, does it mean to you that there's not enough for everybody? Not enough resources? So you're going to fill in this part right here with your own ideas. Okay, great job. Okay, and then the next part's going to be name one example of scarcity you have seen at school, in your community, or in the world. One example of scarcity you have seen in the community or in the world. Okay, so think back to a time when you knew something was limited and not everybody could get it. What was that item?
Eggs.
Right here. What did you say, friend?
Eggs.
Eggs. Okay, that's a great example. So if you would like to write that down, you can write that down. So eggs were limited. Eggs were limited not too long ago because there was the bird flu. Okay. So if you want to write down something here, you can. You can write down eggs. What's another example that happened maybe during the pandemic?
Things being open.
Things being open. Okay, we had a scarcity of stores being open. That's correct too. Okay, great job. Okay, right over here. What do you say, friend?
said.
He said toilet paper. Okay, does anybody remember like on the news and things, or the parents talking about like it's hard to get toilet paper? Toilet paper is scarce right now. Okay, that's a great example, you guys. So scarcity in our community or in the world. Okay, also like things might be scarce at school. Okay, if you wanted to maybe check out a certain book at the library, like when you were in elementary school, maybe you loved reading the Harry Potter books. Okay, maybe Harry Potter. Oops. Escape. Maybe the Harry Potter books, maybe they were like limited and the librarian only got so many of those books. Okay, does that make sense? So sometimes like those might be limited also, or maybe your teacher only has a limited amount of mechanical pencils that she passes out, things like that. So there's different limited things. The next word we have on here is economic system. So what we're gonna do is in our textbook, okay, you guys should all have your textbook. We're gonna look at page 50, okay. So I'll pull out my textbook also. And see what we have on page 50. Okay, so we have economic system. So here's what our essential question is really, you guys, what we're learning about is how does an economic system help a society deal with fundamental problems of scarcity? So how does our economic system help us deal with scarcity? So right here on the board, I have economic system. So that's one of our key words. An economic system is the way a society organizes the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services to meet people's needs and wants. So what kind of economy are we going to have? What are we going to produce? What are we going to distribute? And who's going to consume it? That's what that comes down to. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, so we're going to write that one down. Okay, great job. Okay, and then also you guys, in the textbook, okay, I want you guys to quick, just kind of silently read the first paragraph right here, okay, on 51. It says economies based on tradition, and I want you to read that one paragraph just to yourself quietly, okay? So in the book, and you've got it here. Okay, so you guys are going to read this paragraph. Okay, give me a thumbs up when you have finished that paragraph. Thumbs up when you guys have finished reading that. Okay, and then right here, my friend, I want you to make sure you read that paragraph. And we can put a little bookmark on that page if you want to mark it. Okay. And then we're going to go to page 50 and you're going to read that little paragraph, okay? And then when you guys are done, thumbs up. So far I have, I think, 3 people who are done. 4. Okay, so that paragraph you just read, okay, I'm going to ask you guys, is there anything that stood out to you in that paragraph?
Traditional economy.
Traditional economies?
Yeah.
So,
What that mean? Like
traditional, So right here, economies are based on
tradition.
tradition, So, so if we have different traditions, we do things maybe a certain way, is that right? So in different cultures or countries, we have different ways that we do our economy. So
Oh, yeah.
that's what that's talking about right here. Okay, so that's what you guys just read about. Okay, great job. Before I go to a short little video, we're going to do market economy real quickly. So write that one down if you don't have it down yet. A market economy is an economic system in which individuals and businesses make the most economic decisions based on supply and demand with little government involvement. Okay, and then write this one down. Okay, it looks like a lot of people already have it, which is great. Give me a thumbs up if you already wrote it down. I like it. Good job. You guys are working so hard. Okay, a market economy. Would you say that that's what the U.S. kind of is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of demand on the price of it, and
Based on.
they make what they want and how they want it to produce the decision. Like saying like
See what you wrote down.
said econ system, which is supply, demand, and the prices and system to help people or
Allocate.
resources and make the what and how and for and produce.
Okay, what to produce? Okay, I like that. Great job. You did a good job writing that down. So to me, what does that mean? Okay, if supply goes up,
It's like
Okay.
the start market basically.
like the stock market, okay. If there's more demand of a product, can you think of a product that's in demand? It can be shoes, it can be clothes. Nike. Okay, I like that. So because there's a demand for Nike, specifically what kind of shoes?
Money shoes.
Nike shoes?
Yeah.
Is it Air Jordans? Okay. Sometimes they make a limited amount.
Yeah.
Okay, because they make a limited amount, is there a demand? Do you think people kind of want them?
Yeah.
There's more people that want them than can buy them.
Yeah.
So because there's more people that want them that can buy them, what happens to the price?
It goes higher.
Okay, give me a thumbs up if you think the price goes higher.
If a lot of people.
If they can charge good money because they know people want their product, there's a demand, they know they're gonna sell out. What do you think?
I think it would just keep the price the same.
You think the same?
Sometimes the value goes up. when they go.
They don't just raise prices when like 20 people buy it.
Okay,
Yeah.
but then if somebody buys it and they're a reseller, are they looking to make money? So they know there's a demand and they know they can make money, so do you think that they're gonna raise the price?
They probably would.
They probably will, yes. So, a market system. Okay, great job, you guys. Okay, so, real quickly, I'm gonna shift to this video, and it's about scarcity, okay? So we just talked about scarcity. So I want you to think about it. You don't have to take any notes, but we're gonna talk about this.
Do you wish you had more than 24 hours in a day? Unfortunately, we all face a scarcity of time because there aren't enough hours available to do everything we want to do. So we must make choices about the best ways to spend our limited time. Each hour we devote to one activity takes an hour away from another activity. Economists refer to this trade-off as the opportunity cost of choice. Businesses and governments need to make these tough choices and trade-offs as well.
so I have a question. What do you guys think about that video? Did it kind of bring up anything that you guys maybe didn't think about?
Mm,
Oh,
they have to find a way to evaluate their like pricing and produce is all kind of built based on how who's going to buy it, what they're going to produce and why. Like you're basically going to have to evaluate,
what they're gonna
make decisions.
make decisions on what they're gonna produce and why. And then in the video, did you guys notice like they talked about like if factory is making more of one kind of item, they have to make less of another kind of item maybe?
yep,
Okay,
like
It's-
both.
okay, it's like the jeans and the t-shirts, okay? Because they can only run the machines and you know, maybe they only can run so much electricity at once. Okay, it's like if you have a 3D printer, you have to decide, am I gonna print this now or this now? You see what I'm saying? So you have to make decisions. And it talked about like, one thing that I really liked is it talked about some of our natural resources also being scarce,
Like gas.
like gas, but it also talked about clean air.
Or
And it talked about things like that, pollution, which I liked. Okay, so great job over here. I saw you doing that. And so sometimes I don't think about that. Like, I don't think about that being a scarcity. Like, I think of myself more as a consumer. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you like to shop. Does anybody like to shop in here? Okay.
everything.
And so I think of ourselves as being like consumers and looking for deals, but then you have to step back and think like, wait a minute, for this scarcity, it's a lot of things, okay? It's limited supply, people's wants and needs. So people want clean air, okay? And then gold, gas, things like that. Okay, these are the next three words that we're gonna be going over. We have command economy, traditional economy, and mixed economy. Okay, so these ones are really important too, and we're gonna be talking about these more this semester. And I'm so glad that like it's a new semester and we're able to learn about economics because I think there's so many good things in here you guys are gonna learn before you graduate. A command economy is an economic system in which government makes most economic decisions, including what goods are produced and how resources are distributed. Okay, so some countries have a command economy where the government decides what's going to be produced and how much you're going to get. Okay, a traditional economy is an economic system in which economic decisions are based on customs, traditions, and beliefs that have been passed down from generation to generation. Traditional economy. This would be a lot of traditions. So when you think of the word tradition, what do you guys think about? Culture. Okay, I like that. You think about culture. You think about religious. Okay, traditions. Family. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, like Christmas, you know, like they do different things.
Okay. Does anybody have a family that maybe a family member owns a business or they do their own business?
Parenting.
Parenting?
That was a joke. Make sure you get paid for it.
Okay, so this, a lot of times these businesses, you guys, like family businesses, they have different traditions and beliefs that have been passed down from generation to generation.
Oh yeah.
So farming is one that fits in this category because there's a lot of customs and there's traditions that happen and beliefs that have been passed down from generation to generation with farming. I know that I can share like, you know, like one of my family members has a degree in farming from like, I don't know, 50 or 60 years ago, but one of the traditions that they had that was kind of like a custom and belief was that you planted the corn at a certain time. Like you looked at what the full moon schedule was and you planted the corn to get a certain type of crop. You see what I'm saying? certain kinds of different kinds of beliefs that people would do for those types of different businesses. But a traditional economy, decisions are based on customs and traditions. So farming does fit in that category of a traditional economy. Okay, now a mixed economy is an economic system that combines elements of both a market economy and a command economy with some government involvement and private ownership. Okay, do you guys think we have a mixed economy?
Yes.
We have a good mix?
Yes.
Okay, why do you think we have a mixed economy?
Because
Because I've noticed there's sometimes government involvement in things like the egg situation that was that, I think that was one of the decisions too. And we still hold to like some traditions
Okay.
and market economy.
Okay, so we do have a mixed economy. So elements of a market economy. So market economy has to do with supply and demand. When prices go up, when demand goes up, prices go up. Okay, people will charge more. So if a company knows everybody's gonna, buy this or that, the company wants to make as much money as they can, right?
yeah, because they want to get
Okay.
their business,
Mhm.
or they need something that they want to make another project and double the money again.
And there's some businesses that I can think of that like they do this. So supply and demand. So if you want to, what are people pay? So like think about like if somebody goes and gets their nails done at a nail salon.
Yeah.
Okay, if the nail salon knows you'll pay $50, are they gonna charge you $50? Or are they gonna charge you $20?
It just depends, like, the relationship with that person, because some people, like,
They might give you a discount. That's another point. But say if they charged $20, 100 people showed up. But if they charged $50, they had the right amount of people show up, and they could still make money.
yeah,
Would you rather make more money or less money?
more money.
More money?
Yeah, to the business,
I'd say
but, like,
just less money.
I mean, if you're, like, a hard person, like,
What do you think?
I'm charging more.
You would charge them what they're gonna pay, right? If they're gonna come, if they're gonna come, if they're gonna come at that price, that's what people are gonna charge them, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what the demand is, okay? The supply of people that are gonna go in there and they can demand the price that they wanna demand if people are willing to pay it. Also, government involvement and private ownership. So people own private things. Government does have some involvement because we talked about it last semester. Area 51, I don't know where that came from. No, it's not the alien, Area 51. Okay, if you came on a school bus or a bike or maybe a car today, what did you go on?
gas. Engine.
What does your car drive on?
Road.
Wheels?
A road.
Oh.
Wheels? Okay, who builds those roads?
The hard-working man.
The government builds those roads because they collect our taxes. So government does collect taxes to give us some of these services. Services that he just mentioned are roads, and then what about the lights? You know, the lights that we have that are street lights, electricity, and then public places that we might go to that the tax dollars pay for that anybody can go to. What are those?
Colleges?
We do have some, government does help with some of the college stuff,
Oh, yeah.
but I'm thinking like, you might go there to walk your dog, or you might have a birthday party there.
The park.
The park, okay?
Oh.
The government does also help with that, and so that's its own little business. They have people that go there and clean it. You see what I'm saying? And they have people that go and take care of it. Okay, great job there. Okay, does anybody have any questions so far? Does everybody feel like you're doing pretty good? Okay. Okay, so right now we should have the first page and we should have the second page. Now, right here we have what is the central idea? And then we have some topic sentences and a couple pieces of evidence. And then you guys are going to put together a paragraph. So in, let's go to the next slide. I want to give you guys some examples examples real quickly, okay? So here's some examples of all these words, just to reinforce that we know them. Okay, scarcity, there's a limited number of parking spots at school, so not every student can park on campus. Give me a thumbs up if scarcity makes sense to you.
Yes. I
Okay.
got them.
I'm looking for thumbs up, so we'll move on to the next word. Okay, friends over here, do you guys got this? Okay. The next one, economic system. A country deciding who produces food, how much is made, and who can buy it using an economic system. So deciding who produces food and how it's made. So that can be like that businesses can produce it, people at home can produce it, different things like that. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you understand, if you feel that you understand what an economic system is.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up, yeah. Thumbs down if you don't. You understand what it means? Okay. Friend over here, you understand? Okay. The next one is market economy. A sneaker company makes more shoes. This is yours. This is for you, buddy. I knew you were going to say this when I was writing this lesson.
What?
Number 3. A sneaker company. This is market economy. A sneaker company makes more shoes when people want them and raises prices when demand is high. So they cost more because there's a demand. So market economy. Okay, does this make sense to you? Also think about like a farmer's market, okay, which is a free market. It's easy to enter and leave, but it's also a market economy where people can raise and lower prices as there's demand. So if there's a demand for peaches or strawberries, they can charge more. Okay, everybody give me a thumbs up if this makes sense. Okay, great job. Command economy, the government decides how much food is produced and sets the price that people pay for it. So government sets the price. Okay, I see thumbs up. Anybody not understand this one? We're good. Traditional, a family continues farming same land and growing the same crops the way their ancestors did. Okay, so that's a traditional type of economy, an example. Give me a thumbs up if you got it. I like it, good job. And a mixed economy. In the United States, most businesses are privately owned, but the government also provides services like public schools and roads. Okay, over here you guys got the roads and parks, and you guys all collaborated on that. Give me a thumbs up if you got that. Makes sense to you. Okay, great job. Okay.
Such a word. I hear mantra.
So, this is just trade. Okay, trade happens. This is going to be kind of like a preview of what we're leading into for our next lesson. Okay, our next steps. But we're going to do a little bit of reading too, but I want you to kind of think about this as we're doing this lesson, the rest of it. It occurs between individuals, businesses, and governments because we cannot efficiently produce everything we need by ourselves. This is because certain resources are more readily available. Economies are made of businesses, organizations that produce a good or service that are best suited for and trade goods that they cannot efficiently produce. So we get things from other countries sometimes, correct?
Yeah, from China.
From China sometimes?
Especially from China.
Okay.
Right.
And so sometimes we do trades, but we get things that maybe we don't have enough resources to produce, like car chips, and there's different things like that.
Right now we just
have a
in
huge
Venezuela, so
Like-
we're gonna take their away.
Okay, and you're talking about oil and things like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Car chips.
Oh, I just said
Like to
hardships.
manufacture the cars, you know, to make them like the smart cars.
Oh, I thought you
So
said
in a lot of other countries, they produce those. Okay, I'm gonna pivot over to our textbook. Okay, so you're gonna look for some main ideas. And so I know you guys have read part of this, but right here we have the different types of economies, okay, that we've gone over. And then we've got right here in the book. Okay, I want to show you these. So it's comparing different economies, okay, that you guys can look at. There's some really good visuals. And then comparing economic systems. So we have traditional command and market, advantages and disadvantages. So right here you can see that. everything that we've kind of looked at and read, okay, and I know you guys have done some reading on your own. Okay, how does the economic system help a society deal with the problem of scarcity? Okay, now remember, we're going to go back to the economic system decides what?
The pricing, what to produce, who to whom the products are made for.
Okay. So our friend over here in the front said, okay, and I've got a lot going on over here, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna write this right here on this top corner. Can you repeat that again? You said what to produce?
Yeah, what to produce, how to produce, and to whom the products are made for.
Okay, so what to produce, how to produce it, and who we're producing it for. Okay, those are the three things, the main ideas. So right here, you guys, okay, your topic sentence, an economic system, okay, an economic system decides what to produce, how to produce, and whom to produce it for. Okay, you guys understand that part? And then in the text, there is a couple details from each little section. You can write a couple things down. And then you're gonna write a paragraph explaining like how it applies to you, and you can combine it. So think about it for a second. How does this apply to you? Do you feel it applies to you guys before you graduate?
Like what?
Like learning about economics
Oh, I mean,
and the different kinds of market styles?
yeah, I mean, it's gonna be like in Wall Street.
Wall Street?
Yeah.
But I'm not on Wall Street.
If you're a broker. No, that was called a broker.
A stock trader?
Mhm.
Okay, but what about just the average person? Is it important that we understand like basic concepts like
yeah, because you need know your success is doing with your money.
and if you have a business,
Especially when you have a business,
You wanna know-
you're gonna have
you
to
want to
sell it.
like not produce too much of something if people aren't going to buy it,
Yeah, because you're just wasting.
but you also want to make money, so you want to produce the right amount.
Yeah.
And then also as a consumer, okay, is it important for me to know the prices of things? So if I look at the ads, do I want to buy things when they're cheaper or more expensive?
I'm a person that.
Cheaper? So yes, we want to buy things when they're cheaper so that we can get a better deal. So I'm going to have you guys continue to work on this, and then you're going to write down one thing you learned about the economic system. And you guys can read, like if you want to read a little bit on page 52 on your own too. Does anybody have any questions on this lesson?
No.
Okay, so I think this is a great thing to continue learning about. And I encourage you guys, like, as you guys go throughout your senior year, everybody in here likes to shop, right?
Yep.
Okay, to make sure you compare prices, whether it be on Amazon or Google, before you buy things. Okay, to make sure you're getting something that's a good price, okay? And then you can, cheaper is better, yes. And then also, you guys, certain times of the year, things might be more on sale, okay? They used to say that TVs were a better deal if you bought them right before the Super Bowl because the companies used to have sales. Now Super Bowl's coming up, so that's one thing we can kind of watch and see if there's any sales going on, okay? So,
That's smart though, selling TVs
yeah.
on football.
So we're going to continue to learn about this, you guys, and we're going to continue to learn about how supply affects demand, the different economies, and we're going to look at each day, we're going to look at different things. We're going to look at our CNN news to tie into how the economy is impacted. Okay, the bell's ringing. I'm going to collect your work, but great job. I'm going to stop the video.
Happy.
Just in time.
I'm gonna give you
Great timing, though. That was great.
Thank you.
I'm about to give you a thank you right